2 Chronicles 36 tells a tragic tale. It's the final chapter in the story of Judah, the southern kingdom of Israel. This chapter covers about 100 years of history. It starts with Judah's last good king, Josiah, and ends with the destruction of Jerusalem. This chapter shows us the consequences of turning away from God. The kings of Judah held great power. They were responsible for their people's well-being, and their decisions had lasting impacts. 2 Chronicles 36 recounts their choices, both good and bad. This chapter isn't just ancient history, it's a story about faith, obedience, and the consequences of our actions. It's about the power of God and his unwavering love, even in the face of human rebellion. After the death of good King Josiah, Judah began its descent. Jehoahaz, Josiah's son, took the throne. Jehoahaz was 23 years old when he became king. He ruled in Jerusalem, the capital city of Judah. Jehoahaz, unlike his father, did evil in the eyes of the Lord. His reign was short-lived, lasting only 3 months. Pharaoh Necho of Egypt came to Jerusalem. Necho removed Jehoahaz from power and took him back to Egypt as a prisoner. Jehoahaz's reign was a failure. He didn't follow God, he made bad choices. His reign shows how quickly things can go wrong when leaders abandon God. After Jehoahaz, Pharaoh Necho made Eliakim the new king. Eliakim took the name Jehoiakim. Jehoiakim was 25 years old when he became king, and he ruled for 11 years. Jehoiakim was a puppet king controlled by Egypt. He was also an evil king. He did not follow God's ways. Jehoiakim even burned a scroll containing God's word. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, attacked Jerusalem. Jehoiakim became Nebuchadnezzar's vassal. He rebelled against Babylon after 3 years, which led to more suffering for Judah. Jehoiakim's reign ended in disaster. Jehoiakim died. His son, Jehoiachin, became king. Jehoiachin was only 18 years old when he took the throne. He only ruled for 3 months and 10 days. Like his father, Jehoiachin did evil in the sight of the Lord. Nebuchadnezzar, still angered by Jehoiakim's rebellion, returned to Jerusalem. Nebuchadnezzar besieged the city. He captured Jehoiakim and took him to Babylon. Jehoiakim's reign was short and tragic. He never had a chance to rule effectively. Section 5. Zedekiah, the last king of Judah. With Jehoiakim a captive in Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar placed Zedekiah, another of Josiah's sons, on the throne. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became the ruler of a broken kingdom. Zedekiah was the last king of Judah. He ruled for 11 years. He too disobeyed the Lord. Zedekiah listened to false prophets. He rebelled against Nebuchadnezzar. This was a fatal mistake. Section 6. The siege of Jerusalem, a city under fire. Nebuchadnezzar was furious with Zedekiah's rebellion. He returned to Jerusalem with his army. They surrounded the city and laid siege to it. The siege lasted for 2 long years. The people of Jerusalem suffered greatly. They faced starvation and disease. The city's defenses crumbled under the relentless Babylonian assault. Section 7. The exile, Judah's bitter fate. In 587 BC, the walls of Jerusalem were breached. The city fell to the Babylonians. Nebuchadnezzar's forces looted the city. They destroyed the temple, the most sacred site in Judaism. They burned it to the ground. The Babylonians captured Zedekiah as he tried to escape. They killed his sons before his eyes. They then blinded Zedekiah and took him to Babylon in chains. Thousands of Judeans were taken captive to Babylon. They were forced to march hundreds of miles to a foreign land. The exile was a time of great sorrow and despair for the people of Judah. Section 8. Cyrus the Great, a Persian king and God's instrument. Judah lay in ruins. The people were scattered. But God had not forgotten them. He had a plan for their return. Years later, a new power emerged in the east, the Persian Empire. Cyrus the Great, the Persian king, conquered Babylon. Cyrus was a different kind of conqueror. He was known for his tolerance and wisdom. Section 9. The prophecy fulfilled, return to Zion. In 538 BC, Cyrus issued a decree. He allowed the Jewish exiles to return to Jerusalem. They could rebuild their temple and their lives. This act of grace fulfilled the prophecies of Jeremiah. The exiles returned to Jerusalem with joy and thanksgiving. They rebuilt the temple and the city. They restored their relationship with God. Section 10, Conclusion Lessons from Judah's Fall. The story of Judah's kings in 2 Chronicles 36 is a cautionary tale. It shows what happens when people turn away from God. It's a story of sin and its consequences, but it's also a story of hope and redemption. God never abandoned his people, even in their darkest hour. He punished them for their disobedience, but he also showed them mercy and brought them back to their land. The story of Judah's fall reminds us that God is faithful to his promises. He is a God of justice and a God of love. This story challenges us to examine our own lives. Are we following in the footsteps of the righteous kings, or are we repeating the mistakes of those who turned away from God?